Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us in our new live interview series, 67 Questions with Theater Artists. My name is Paolo Santalucia. I use he, him, his pronouns. I'm one of the artistic leaders of the Howland Company, which is an artist-led, artist-driven theater company in Toronto. This new live theater interview series features 67, sometimes serious, sometimes silly, always very unfiltered questions with artists that we think you should know more about. And tonight, we're very excited to be joined by Toronto actor, director, writer, theater creator, my partner, Gregory Prest, who is in the next room. And welcome, Gregory, to our first version of this. How's the lighting over there?
It's good. I can hear you. You're right over there. And I can hear you.
You're right over there. So we're so happy that you're here. Maybe before we begin, we should just have a quick little cheers to say it's so wonderful to have you on the show. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
And without further ado, do you have any, before I ask you 67 questions, do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, perfect. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Question 1. What is your favorite time of day?
2 o'clock.
AM or PM? That's not an official question.
PM.
Okay. What's one vice you wish you could give up right now?
Oh, late night snacking.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
I had my hair cut once at the Ho team over here on Church and Wellesley, and after he cut my hair, he said, "Go and enjoy your beauty." That was pretty amazing. I love that.
What's your favorite tongue twister?
Oh, I don't like any of the ones with S's.
And when are you most inspired?
Usually when I'm watching a play.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
One song that you could listen to on repeat over and over and over again.
Right now, I've been listening to the entire soundtrack of In the Heights over and over and over and over and over. So that entire soundtrack.
What's something that you think of that always makes you laugh?
Oh, my little dog, Toby.
New or vintage?
Vintage.
3 things that you can't live without.
Like laughter, coffee, and like, do I have to say you?
No, you don't. You don't have to use our relationship at all at any point in this. That's a given. So I understand that the answer to many of these questions is me.
Laughter, coffee, and you.
Very sweet. Window or aisle?
Aisle.
What's a current TV character or film character that currently inspires you?
I don't know. My mind is blank. I don't know.
The Housewives count.
Oh, well, they're not inspiring. They're entertaining, but not really inspiring. I don't know. Sorry.
Fair. You're uninspired by all of the things that we're watching, and I'm not surprised because we're watching absolute trash. We can come back to questions.
Night, I'll be like, oh, I should have answered that.
What's the last thing that you lost or couldn't find?
Oh, the last thing I've lost or couldn't find. Sometimes I have a hard time finding this one pen that I like to use. It's the one pen I like. There'll be a whole, thing full of them, but it's this one. And I have to kind of search the whole apartment for this one
pen. What's your favorite season?
Fall.
What's your favorite piece of clothing?
Like specifically, or like scarves, shirts.
Take it however you want. It could be either.
I have a sweater that my mom made for my dad before I was born that I wear a lot. That's my favorite piece of clothing. It's older than me.
And this is a good segue. What's something that reminds you of your mother?
That sweater. Pigeons remind me of my mother. The sound of a sewing machine.
That's really nice. What's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever received?
Well, there are a couple that I like now. I like that there's rupture will happen, but it's all about repair. That is something that I was like, oh, I like that a lot. One that I've been thinking about a lot is if it's not awkward, you're not learning. And then the last one, this is kind of long. I don't really know how to say this, but I remember reading this years and years and years ago, and I love this so much. So, you're a gardener, you've got a plant, you water the plant every day, you put it in the sun, you don't understand why it's not growing, it's dying, but you're doing the things you're supposed to do, water it, put it in the sun, but you haven't actually read the manual, and you don't know that plant likes the shade and doesn't like a lot of water. So you are, in fact, a bad gardener for doing that. And people are the same way. That you can't assume that you treat, people and plants are very similar.
I love that. And do you remember who told you any of those pieces of advice? Which I guess could be extrapolated to be like, who is the wisest person you know?
The wisest
one of them.
I know. Well, the rupture repair came from your mom. So Mariarella.
She's very wise.
Yeah.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
What's something very mundane that annoys you a lot?
The sound of other people eating.
What's your favorite kind of flower?
Oh, I like roses. We have a beautiful rose garden over there. I like daffodils. Crocuses. They're my favorite thing. Every year. It's the first thing I have on my camera. Like, you can always tell when the year goes by because there are like 10 pictures of crocuses every year. Whenever I see them, that's the first thing I do. I take a picture of them. So I'll see.
Just so anyone who's watching knows, we don't personally have a rose garden. There's just a rose garden. There's a rose garden very close.
There's a church over there.
Yeah, there's a beautiful rose garden connected to a church. Lest anyone think that we have a rose garden. I don't know why I feel the need to say that we don't have a rose garden. I wish we did, but we don't. Okay, so you're back in the theater. You're watching a play. What's the first thing that you imagine right now that's going to make you emotional?
Shared space and breath between people on stage, just
love that.
On stage.
Okay, so you're back in the theater watching a play. What's the first thing that's going to annoy you?
Tightness. I think that's going to be a real thing. I think that's going to be a real thing when we get back there, because we all have to breathe. The actors, the audience. And breath is going to be really, really important. It's really hard, to be sitting there holding our breath, whether we're wearing masks or not, because it'll be hard for them. So I'd say not breathing will be really. Was the word irritating you used?
Yeah, irritating or annoying.
No, that's not really. I understand it. It's not annoying. So
that counts. That's a great answer. Okay. That's great.
Thank you.
What's your biggest regret?
Well, the thing is, I grew up Catholic, and so I have a hard time separating regret from guilt. So I feel a lot of guilt for a lot of things, and so I was like, and I regret things I said or I didn't say, or moments that I failed in. I kind of mull that over and over. But in terms of regret, they're big things. But I would say, for the purpose of this. For this Friday evening, I would say that I wish when I was younger, I was braver and just sort of did things like, I'm moving to New York for a year, or I'm moving to London for a year, and just sort of did that thing of I don't care. I'm just going to go and see what happens. So if I could go back and do that again, I would do that. I'd be braver about that thing of just picking up and going. What's the last song that you listened to? Song In the Heights. I tell you, it's in my ears all the time. It's Paciencia Fe. That Abuela sings. That's what I was listening to last thing. What's your favorite board game? Are dominoes board games? No. Yeah, that counts. I say that counts. Yeah, I board games I find I have a hard time with. Dominoes. Great. That totally counts. What says me?
What's something small that got you through the last year?
An orange tree. You know, we're growing an orange tree that has no oranges on it. They're about this big and they're actually orange.
What's the last book that you finished?
I just finished Blink, Malcolm Gladwell.
Did you like it?
Yeah, there's some interesting things in there. I know there's some interesting things that Malcolm Gladwell was writing about. Yeah, I liked it.
And what are you currently reading?
I am going back and forth between cast and songlines right now. I'm going back and forth.
What time of day do you usually wake up?
What time of day? Well, I like to get up. My ideal would be to get up early, but sometimes that doesn't happen.
What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
If you could raid one person's personal library, whose would it be?
I don't know what David Sedaris is reading.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying very hard not to comment on any of these answers, but I really like that answer. If you could wear another person's wardrobe for an entire day and miraculously their clothes would fit you and you'd look amazing in all of them, whose wardrobe would it be?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't have an answer for that. I always wish I could wear like those good old fashioned Irish tweed hats and big farming jackets.
So like the cast of like Newsies kind of, or like?
No. Next question.
What's one thing you wish you knew at 19?
Generally, people want the best for you.
What is one thing other than that pen that you are constantly forgetting?
I forget to take pills. like a little old man every day. I'm like, oh, right, shit.
You become very famous over the course of this pandemic very suddenly for teaching a fitness class. What fitness class is it?
Oh, definitely jazzercise.
And what's something that you're really bad at?
I'm really bad at, two answers. Well, I'm really bad at picking the right knife to cut the right thing. I always pick the wrong knife.
Yeah.
And I'm not the best at keeping in touch with friends.
What's the first place that you want to visit once the pandemic ends?
New York.
City or state?
Upper New York. No, New York City.
And what's a place that you visited that's disappointed you?
Oh. I don't know. I don't think I've been I can't think of any place that I've been disappointed.
Nice. What's your favorite opening line of a book or play?
I don't know the line, but I love the funeral at the beginning of Angels in America. The rabbi.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? Rhubarb.
And what's your favorite dessert?
Stewed rhubarb.
What's your favorite snack?
Like rhubarb? No. Give me a good cashew.
Just one?
Just one. I just want one good cashew. Just one good cashew.
What's a movie that always makes you cry?
A movie that always makes me cry. I don't know. I don't really watch movies over and over again. I can't think of. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You don't have to apologize. It's a-okay.
I remember the first movie I cried at was An American Tail. I saw it in the theater, and as a kid, and like the scene where like the family's walking over a bridge and little Faisal's walking, and like they just miss each other, and that was the first movie that I remember like sobbing at. That.
How old were you?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. Like maybe I have no idea when that came out. I'm not sure. Like under 10.
That breaks my heart. That's very sweet. What's a movie or a book that you stopped watching or reading partway through because you couldn't take it anymore?
I just put down American People. Is that what it's called? The Larry Kramer. I just put that down. I'll pick it up again, but I was like, I can't. I just put it down.
What's a play that makes you cry?
Good question. I think when I think about the Glass Menagerie, that relationship, the brother-sister relationship, Laura, and the scene, the gentleman caller and Laura. I don't know, anything that has a tinge of desire that is too scared to speak its name, just I can't handle it. So I'm going to say that, but I'm sure there are tons and tons and tons.
Great. What's one of the best plays that you've ever seen?
One of the best plays I've ever seen in my life. Remember seeing Jerusalem and going crazy. I think it's a great play. Mark Rylance, of course, is amazing, but I went crazy for that. I think that was one of the best things I've seen.
What's an actor that you wish that you could perform with?
An actor I wish I could perform with.
And you really don't have to say me this time.
Paolo Santalucia would be the actor.
That's very sweet. But you can give another one.
Like a real one?
Yes.
My chair is squeaking. I don't know. Like I don't have like pining. Like there are such wonderful actors.
Be famous. It could be like anyone in the world, like living, past, anybody.
That's too broad. That question. That's not a good question. I love
so
you.
I'm your answer. You're gonna leave it with you. You're gonna leave me with your official answer.
For now, yeah. I'm joking.
Did you say you're joking? What's one talent that you wish that you had?
I wish I could just like dance. Like just when people can just, that is superhuman to me. When people can just move, it is beautiful.
What's one thing that you really don't want to still be doing in 10 years?
Replaying every conversation I have in my head over and over, wondering where it was that I made the fatal error to make it as awkward as all get out. Yeah, that would be great to sort of eliminate.
What's your favorite planet?
Jupiter.
What is your favorite part of Toronto? Or where is your favorite part of Toronto?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Well, right now, it changes, but right now, this little church, it's Our Lady of Lourdes, just across the street from us. And it's got a beautiful rose garden. And then there's, a shrine in the front, and people stop and spend time with it. And I think that's incredibly beautiful. But I'm not happy with that answer. I don't have another answer, so I'm going to have to say wherever you are. No, I'm going to be in big trouble.
Big trouble. You can the church. We can leave it at the church. That's a good answer.
Should, though. I really like right now. I really love walking through to Taylor Creek Park. It's beautiful, there, walking through Cabbage Town, anywhere that there's like a magnolia tree blooming, I'm all about it.
Yeah, that's great. What's your favorite cocktail?
I like a good Manhattan.
What's the funniest movie you've ever seen?
I don't know, but my dad when he laughs, he is so expressive with his laugh, and he can't stop, and he shakes and he wheezes. And I remember as a family, we all went to Cool Runnings, the movie theater, and my dad, like my mom was so embarrassed. That brings me the most joy when I think about funny movies, because my dad just kind of laughed the entire time and for hours afterward. So yeah, I would say, I don't know if that's funny. I don't know if that movie holds up. I don't really remember anything about that movie except the premise. But yeah.
What's something that you could eat for dinner for the rest of your life?
Crackers.
What's something that always makes you think of home?
Like rhubarb. I know I said that. That just is the thing that reminds me of home. Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, there's so many things.
Rhubarb's great. That's a great answer. Rhubarb and rose garden. Greenery is getting a lot of exposure in this interview. It's it's very good. Who would you do for Snatch Game?
Who would I do for Snatch Game? Oh gosh. I don't know. I'm not really good at impressions. I don't know who I would do in Snatch Game. Sorry.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color? I like blue.
What are 3 words that describe living in Toronto for you?
For me, searching, surprising, stranger.
What's something that you had to learn the hard way?
Being financially responsible and paying your taxes.
Your agent just called to tell you that someone has written a 1-person show for you, and who's playing you in it?
Who's playing me?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
In your dream, like in your dream world. Who gets to play you in your own, like, 1-person show about yourself?
The Gregory Prest story?
Mm-hmm.
And it could be anyone?
Mm-hmm.
Like Candice Bergen in her Murphy Brown days.
What's your favorite swear word?
Jesus Murphy.
What superpower do you wish you had?
Time travel.
What is a trend that you would like to see disappear forever?
A trend to disappear forever. You're assuming that I understand what a trend right now.
Like when something popular, like something that people do.
I don't know. I don't want to be critical of how people live in the world and how they express themselves. A trend would be like, I don't know. I'm going to just choose a stupid answer, but like, well, just something, just, I don't know. People on their phones when they're with each other at a restaurant together. This is not personal. There's no subtext in this.
I don't do that.
No, that's what I say. Like, there's no, like, I know it's not a trend, but that's just something that I go, come on. Yeah, and I understand. Like, I get it.
No, you don't have to understand. You don't have to understand.
No, I get it. Like, I'm not critical, but that's just something I don't like that answer. I'm sorry.
I think that's a great answer.
No, I feel critical.
No,
what happens? No, I have to check this. I have to know something.
No, I think it's a great answer. What was the first job that you wanted when you were a kid?
That I wanted?
Yeah.
I wanted to work on a farm when I was a kid. I want to be a farmer.
And last question. Who do you want to ghostwrite the story of your life?
Who do I want to ghostwrite the story of my life? Well, I'd want my sister to do it.
That's great. Gregory, thank you so much. Those are all your questions. So this is a new series. Like I said, this is a new series that we're really excited for at the Howland Company. We're really excited for it to grow. This is the first time that we've done it. So Gregory, thank you for being our very first guest artist. To all of you out there, or to only a few of you out there, however many of you out there are, if you enjoyed it, we would very much love it if you could click like on the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and turn on your notifications so that you could see what the next one's going to be. There's going to be a few more of these, especially over Pride Month. And if you're interested in supporting the Howland Company, you can find a link in the description to make a donation. And as part of the series, a portion of these proceeds raised is going to be going back to a featured organization each month. For June, for Pride Month, we selected the 519, which is a Toronto organization that's committed to the health and happiness and full participation of LGBTQ2S+ communities within the city of Toronto. So it's a great organization. Feel free to donate to us. We're going to give it a little bit back, pay it forward. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gregory, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you.